Canning season has begun. Come take a look at how we organize our jars. Hi, I'm Jonathan, the Provident Prepper. We've had lots of requests from people like you who wanted to know how we built our bottle shelves. These have been in place for about 10 years now, and they will hold about 1,400 jars, and they have done just a fantastic job of helping us keep everything organized. So let's go down and we're going to take a little tour. We've had so many requests of people wanting to know how to build some good bottle shelves, and so I'm just going to walk through this a little bit. We chose to put them in this room. It's in our furnace room. It stays fairly cool year-round, so that's a plus. We also don't want them in an area that's lighted, and this is very dark in here most of the time, and so that helps the fruit last longer. So this turned out just to be a really great place to put this set of shelves. One of the most important things that you need to think about when you build these shelves is strength. You think about all these shelves clear full of jars, and that is incredibly heavy. So these shelves are built very heavy to make sure that they can handle that kind of load. In order to support that load, we chose to use 2x4 construction, and that's what I would recommend to anyone else doing this. You need these to be beefy. The first thing we did was to create a cleat out of these 2x4s, and we anchored those into the wall. We started on one side, we put the nail in, we used a level to make sure they were level, and then shot in the other side, and then filled in with at least 2 3-inch nails into studs behind. After getting the cleats in place, then we built these shelves using the 3/4 inch particle board and the 2x4 on the front. These are put together with construction adhesive, and then they are stapled, or you could also use grabber screws. You'd want to do pilot holes if you do that, but this is bonded together so that this creates a tremendous amount of strength here. With the shelf built, we set that in place on the cleat in the back, and then using a level we get that right where we want it, and we shoot this column piece into the 2x4 here in the front. Then we can cut this piece, this second support piece that this shelf will sit on, and it creates a really strong column here. With that first shelf in place, we just continue up and put each shelf in place as we go up and cut these blocks and make sure that they're put in, and everything becomes very, very solid. On the end here you can see what I call the jail bars, and that's just really first strips put on here to make sure that none of these jars can come off the end here. These divider bars provide 2 functions. First of all, they create order on your shelves. These happen to be about 2 jars wide, so that we can fit 2 even of the wide mouth jars in there, and it creates order for where things go, and so everything's not just a mess. For the structural engineer in me, these are critically important, because if you have this long shelf, these happen to be 24-inch shelves, they will tend to bow and bend and flex, and we don't want that to happen. These are anchored through from the bottom, and so they provide a lot of rigidity to these shelves. They make them even more structurally sound. Because we live in earthquake country, and because we have grandkids, we put these first strip bars across the front. Now these are about 1/3 of the way up, but they still allow the jars to come in and out very, very easily, but they provide a corral to make sure that they don't come tumbling out in an earthquake. When considering the spacing on the shelves, we wanted to make sure that the jars could go in and out easily, and we wanted also to make sure that we maximized our space. So we didn't want them too high with a lot of excess space on top of the jars, but we didn't want them so tight that it was tough to get them out. I think we hit a perfect balance here. On the bottom of these shelves, we wanted to make sure we had some room to stack cases or to have taller objects in here. And then I've created these first strip pallets just to keep them off the ground. We now have this space at the bottom and at the top that we can use for boxes of bottles or canners or whatever. And now for the question of the day. What is your favorite way to store your home bottled goods? Comment below, and thanks for being part of the solution.